Sensory words. Sensory words arise sense in your writing from unimaginative to imaginative. Sensory words arise sense in your writing from unimaginative to imaginative. In the sentences, I have explained you how some words will act on your senses while you are reading and will give you the imagery and symbolism of the write up. Now, here we're going to see in a paragraph how the sensory words are used and how this will create an imagery in your mind. Let me read the paragraph. Imagine you are sitting in a lounge chair on the beach, and these are the sequence of events which happen which will create imagery in your mind. Morning birds chirping and waking the world, the glowing sun rocking its way, cutting the darkness with its sharp rays, the dark birds piloting towards their destiny, racing against the breeze, staring out over the glittering sea, the ocean breeze ruffling your hair, listening to the slow, steady rhythm of the waves. Some children giggle and whisper into ears, sharing some funny jokes. The ship is distant and dashing against the waves. The sand is slipping from the toes, making its way. The cosmic curves touching the water. Filled with enormous energy within, you walk back to home, crushing the dry leaves on the path. The mighty trees guarding the land for life, hanging are striped thin branches with aromatic little flowers. How is this paragraph for you? The birds chirping, so you were able to imagine the little sounds of the birds which make early in the morning and how those sounds wake up the whole world. The poet, the writer is creating an image in your mind, showing you visually the birds and the world awaking to the sounds of the birds. The glowing sun is rocking its way, so the glowing sun is taking steps. It's very mightily entering the world, cutting the darkness. Here, the words are used metaphorically too. He has used symbolism and metaphorically, the rays of the sun are pushing the darkness away. Slowly, the darkness is disappearing, and the birds are piloting towards their destiny. That means, with all might, in a row, the birds, if you see early in the morning how the birds fly in the sky, so they are moving towards their destiny, racing against the breeze. So there is breeze also. That is what the writer is telling us. Staring over the glittering sea. How is the sea? The sea is glittering. Why is the sea glittering? The sea has water. How can it glitter? The rays of the sun are touching the water, and thereafter the bubbles are reflecting the 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 light of the sun, and that looks as if the bubbles are glittering. The ocean breeze ruffling your hair. So when you are standing and see watching all this, what's happening to your hair? Your hair is being ruffled. Your hair is moving in the direction of the breeze. Slow and steady rhythm of the waves. So the waves are having a rhythm because they move in a pattern. They have regular intervals. So when they have regular intervals, they create a rhythm. Some children giggle. I think this giggle word you would have encountered in your classrooms or elsewhere, where someone asks you, why are you giggling? So it's like laughing to your own self, or to your friend who's laughing along with your friend who's standing beside you, exchanging small jokes. So when you don't want to be too loud, you speak slowly, and those that is called as whisper. The ship is distant and dashing against the waves. So when the word dashing against the waves is used, we understand that the ship is moving towards the shore. It is moving against the waves. It is cutting the waves and moving. The sand is slipping. This, unlike the clay, or the sand has a natural tendency of slipping away, because all the granules of the sand are apart, they are not sticky. So here the writer has rightly used by saying that the sand is slipping from the toes. So when you walk on the beach, what happens? The sand, you cannot walk very easily as you walk on a hard surface, because the granules of the sand are not attached to each other, they are separated. So what happens? Your leg goes deep, and the sand slips away from in between your toes. The cosmic curves, that is the sky, the rays of the sun, all from a distance feel like as if they are touching the water, filled with enormous energy. Seeing all this, you are filled with enormous energy. That means, if you just use filled with energy, you maybe that image would not be created in your mind. But when you use enormous energy, then the reader or the listener will understand that all these have delighted you. They have brought a new energy into your body. So, filled with enormous energy, you walk back home, crushing the leaves on the path. So, the dry leaves, when they are coming in between your a leg, a toe, and the hard surface, that is the road or the street, then what happens? They get crushed in between because they are dry. So here the writer, without saying, the he has symbolically, or he has made you imagine that the leaves are dry and they are getting crushed into small pieces, falling below your leg while you are walking. The mighty trees. So, how are the trees? They are mighty, they are very big, they stand guarding the land for life. They are acting as soldiers, or they are acting as policemen who are taking care of this planet. So that is what the writer wants to say here. The mighty trees guarding the land for life. Hanging are striped thin branches. So, from those mighty trees, you can see some branches which are hanging, and they have stripes on them. So as soon as you say the word stripes, you can imagine the zebra which has the black and white stripe. So probably the branches are having light green and dark green, or yellowish and green shades of stripes, and hanging are aromatic little flowers. So those flowers are spreading their fragrance, they are spreading the freshness along the path, and the writer is able to feel all this. And the writer has conveyed this to us by by putting all the sensory words and the sensory language into his paragraph. So when you want to make your write up strong, you have to use sensory words, so that the reader or the listener gets the imagery and the symbolism of what is happening, and can exactly imagine the scene there. Thank you.